your home and loan girl, CEO and founder of Passion and Purpose Realty Group.
And I'm LaShonda, the luxury home real estate agent, brokered by eXp Realty, and owner of the Empire Realty Group.
And we are Sisters in Real Estate.
Hello, 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 beautiful people. Welcome to our next episode. My name is LaShonda, the Realtor.
Okay, Shonda, I hear you. I feel you. I see the energy. I'm Nikita Jacobs, your home and loan girl.
And we're
Sisters in Real Estate. Hey.
So I'm really excited. 2023 has really been good to me, and I pray God that my season lasts the whole year.
It will. It will. Like I truly, we about to start off on something different, but I love the way the energy flows when we do kind of start live. It's kind of like, okay, but I do believe, like, even for me, I'm checking off my goals and stuff. In 2023, I'm like, get it, girl. You over here crushing these goals for 2023. Yes. You ain't playing the games, okay? So I agree. Like, I feel like 2023 is being good to me too, and I think we just got to keep pushing and pressing and putting the right people around us,
Yep. Keep doing what you're doing and
keep doing what you're doing. And I'm so excited about our podcast. Like, I ain't gonna even lie. Every episode we record, I'll be like, oh, giddy and everything. Like, we doing it again. But I text you, I was like,
it's time. Yes. So hopefully, we can definitely pass on that good energy and vibes to our clients this year. And with that, I do want to go ahead and share some of the tea in the market.
Come on.
I have a couple of stats here for December of 2022. This is for Tarrant County single family homes, pre-owned homes. This does not include townhomes, condos, new construction property. This is strictly single family homes. And it is market stats from last quarter, which is December of 2022. And the stats come from the Texas Real Estate Research Center at Texas A&M. Currently, the median price for Tarrant County single family homes is about $330,000, which is up about 2%. Now the sales have been down, which is good for buyers because that means sellers need to sell. It's about 40% below what it usually is around this time. But sellers are still putting their houses on the market, which means that there's enough inventory for maybe about a month and a half. So they still want to sell their house, but it's taking some sellers a little while to really understand that that seller's market is like, it's coming off. It's like debris or something. It's like, it's just ashes. So, but a lot of people haven't kind of wrapped their head around it. So they're still like, I want top dollar for my house. But I mean, they're getting,
not to interrupt, but even historically, these are kind of slow times too in real estate. Like, fourth quarter, first quarter. Now the times that pick up is spring and summer.
So I guess you would say this time is everyone coming off of the holiday high, getting back into the rhythm, and then seeing what those taxes gonna hit like.
No.
To see if they're even in a position to buy. But still, I like these numbers. I like that.
Yes.
The housing market is becoming affordable again for a lot of people. And that buyers are now having a chance at a home that they really, really like. So I'm excited about that.
Yeah. And then the fact that it's up 2% anyway, like the price, the average home, that's really good because that's telling us that equity, we're getting increases in value, and so the reason people even get into real estate, right, is for that equity. So just know that part,
That's right. That's important. You want to grow equity. You never want to see the value go down, even if you are a buyer, because if you do have plans to purchase a home in the future, you definitely don't want the value of your house to go down. That means you're not getting equity and it's not doing what it's supposed to do.
Right. It's true. That's true.
So that's the tea. I hope that helps somebody. I know some of it might sound like foreign language, but in a nutshell, the seller's market is cooling off. That's basically what's going on. So our next thing that we want to cover is becoming a real estate agent. So I get a couple people that'll inbox me, Nikita, asking me, how do I get my license? What do I need to do? What does it look like? What school did you go to? How much does it cost? And I'm the type of person that I'm a glass half full type girl. So I never like just, try to shut anybody's dreams down or,
Mhm.
so, but I give it to them raw and real. And I let them know like what you see on these shows on TV is not real estate.
Right.
They're showing you the good. They're showing you some of the bad, but they're showing you the good. And they're showing you all this nice and shiny stuff, but they don't, show you the real deal. They don't give you the true and the raw. So it makes it attractive to a lot of people.
Right.
So my advice would be that if you're interested in, getting into real estate as a real estate agent, in order to build like a solid business, you definitely need to do your research before you start investing in like school and, getting your license and all that good stuff. There are several schools out there. There's online schools, there's in-person schools. It really just depends on like your budget and your schedule, because if you're working full time, being able to go to school may be a little bit of a struggle. Now, some schools like Champion Schools of Real Estate, where I attended, they do have night options where you can go to school in the evening, so after work. But you're definitely going to have to sacrifice some time, some energy to make it happen. When I went to real estate school, I was still working full time, but things worked out for me where I was able to actually quit my job and go full into real estate as soon as I got my license, and I've been full time ever since.
Nice. Yeah.
But because it's not easy trying to juggle a full time job and do real estate, because a lot of real estate business is done before 5 o'clock. After 5, yeah, we're still working. It's not a cookie cutter business. But a lot of business is done during the day. And if you're at work, then you're not able to really just be out there growing your real estate business.
Right. The networking, the leg work that you got to put into like the admin tasks, putting yourself out there, like a lot of that is during the day. So maybe if there's something, if that's, listen, go at your pace, that's important, I went to Champion School also. I went at my pace. I think I went in the classroom though, because I was trying to get it over with. But when I actually got my license, I didn't practice right away. I got my license and then I just kind of held it. Because I was at a corporate company, and it was kind of a conflict, of interest.
Right.
And so until I was ready to kind of make that step, it was just good to kind of have it just in case like they were to lay me off or something. That's really why I got it. No, that's not really why I got it, but that's kind of what made me push me to do it. Was like, okay, this is something you've always wanted to do.
Yeah.
So like, let's go ahead and just get it,
Right.
and that way you will have it. So when it's time for you to use it, it'll be there for you.
Right.
So that's,
I think
you
that's
gotta,
how a lot of people do that. I think a lot of people come from corporate America. Like they're not automatically like entrepreneurs and then they go into real estate. I mean, a lot of people are like coming from corporate America and they're like, I'm tired of, working for, somebody. I want to make my own schedule. But what they don't understand, and I actually told this young lady this the other day, what you don't understand is, yeah, it's cool to make your own schedule, but not only that, you have to be disciplined. Like you have to have discipline, you have to have structure, you still need to follow a schedule in order to be successful and have that foundation. Like you can't just wake up and say, oh, I own my own business, I'm my own boss, I can do what I want. Yeah, that's true. But what is it that you're going to do to actually build your business and become successful? Is what you need to ask yourself, because I have to put stuff on my calendar. I have to set a reminder. And if I don't, it's not going to get done.
Right. No, for real.
It requires a lot of discipline, and you're like making your own rules, and making your own rules means LaShonda's going to get up. LaShonda's going to, make sure the kids are good and where they need to be. LaShonda's going to make sure she follows her calendar and, time blocks and time management, which I'm still working on.
Work in progress.
It's a lot. And then people are like, oh, Well, they didn't tell me being an entrepreneur means that, you work 24/7. Yeah, we don't get MLK off. We don't we can choose to take it off. But really, honestly, as an entrepreneur in real estate, I want to work on those holidays because that's when people are going out to new construction communities and looking at houses because they're off.
Right.
So I need to be working. So it's not all it's cracked up to be. Don't get me wrong. I love being in real estate. It's very rewarding, but you have to work hard. Like you got to know your stuff. You can't just be out here. Look at this house. Look at this house. You want to buy it? Like it's not that easy.
It's not all about just showing a house. Okay. There's so much more to it than looking at beautiful houses all the time. I mean,
Right.
that is a perk in the business, is looking at beautiful houses, but you see some that ain't beautiful, and I know a lot of people, they be looking like they real fashionable and they driving all these nice things, but honestly, you got to put in a lot of work up front.
Yeah.
And you got to know to be prepared for that work.
Yeah.
When you go to school, they don't kind of tell you that. Of course, they're giving you textbook stuff that you need to learn to pass the exam.
Right.
But I would definitely say, find you somebody that can mentor you. But here's the thing, you have to do the work. No one can hold your hand and say, take these. I mean, we can tell you to take the trainings, but you got to take the trainings.
That's
You
right.
got to take the trainings. I'm not going to be with you, at a company or a corporation saying, as a manager, saying, hey, did you do this? Did you do that? Did you do this? It's all on you to hold yourself accountable, and don't be pointing a finger at everybody else when you didn't do what you were supposed to do because you feel like nobody helping you. We've all come into this business and we've all, I acknowledged it too. I was like, ooh, like, we need help. I need help. I don't know what to do. It's all about networking,
Mhm.
talking to people, asking questions when you can. Don't bombard people. Don't just ask questions, but don't do the work. If I tell you something to do and you don't do it, then it's like you just wasted my time,
Right.
your time. Time is precious in this business. Am
Yeah.
I not right? Time
No,
is so
you're
precious.
absolutely
I
right.
ain't trying to be funny, but if I spend time with you and I actually do something with you, and this might be taken all wrong, but that's a blessing because
Yeah.
you don't get time. We're mothers, we're wives, we have personal lives, we have this business, which is massive business because we're responsible for everything in our business. We're responsible for the admin tasks. We're responsible for our tax stuff. We're
Mhm.
we're responsible for our fees that comes with the association. So also you got to have extra money to know that you got to have to pay for other things in this business. It's a business.
Yeah. Yeah.
Literally, it's a
You're
business.
building a business for
It's
sure.
a business and it is a lot of work. I try to make sure, I try my best to kind of educate and make sure people know, like, and I don't be wanting them to feel like I'm trying to discourage them. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? You
Yeah.
have to, I encourage you to do it. And honestly, if you're one of those go-getters and you ambitious and you're gonna get it done, I know that it's gonna be great for you. But
Yeah.
if you're that one that kind of like to stay in the background and don't like to really do anything, then this is not, you have to do stuff. You have
Yeah.
to meet people. You have to talk to
Yeah.
people. You have to work with people. People is a big part of the business. Relationships is a big part of the business. Even when I don't want to do things, I have to do things.
That part, I like this. I had somebody say, I want to see, I'm tired of working in corporate America. I want to see, what I want to see if, what you say, I want to try real estate. And I was like, hold on, babe. You don't try real estate.
Okay.
Like that's not something you try. It's like it's a huge investment. And a lot of people don't know that. Like some schools are really, really expensive. You can get some that are really, really affordable and inexpensive. But again, it requires you to have discipline to actually take the classes. The ones that are going to be more expensive are going to be the ones that hold your hand, that say, okay, be here at this time. This is what we're going to go over. This is what we're going to test on. But the ones that probably will give you a little more flexibility where you can work, or, take the exam or study any time of day. They're going to be more affordable, but they're not going to have that teacher to student interaction. So you're going to be kind of on your own. So you have to already mentally be prepared that, okay, I need to do this and I need to do that. And I got to stay on top of it, because if not, then you're going to be like, oh my God, this is so overwhelming. This is hard. I don't understand what it's saying. It's foreign language. And then you're going to stop. But I was telling her that it can be anywhere from 2,000 to $5 or $6 or whatever $1,000, depending on what school you go to, depending on what material you pay for to study for the test. Once you pass your exam, you have to pay for your exam. Once you pay for your exam and you pass the test, you now have to pay for your license. You have to pay an association to be a part of their board. You have to pay your broker to join, regardless of what broker you go with. You still have to pay your broker to join. And then sometimes there are expenses that are incurred before you even make your first sale. Like some brokers have monthly dues, some brokers have monthly fees, whatever you want to call it. Like it can get really, really expensive. So it's not something you want to try. You have to really, really know that, hey, I want to go into real estate and here's my why. Like, why do you want to do real estate? What makes you, what pulls you to real estate? Is it just looking at pretty houses? Or is it the money? Is it the flashy stuff? Like, what is it? Like, I had to really think about that. Like, why am I in real estate? What is it that I like about it? Not only do I like being my own boss and having my own business, I love helping people. I love educating people about the business and, you know, helping our culture be more aware of what we have invested in real estate and what it means to have real estate. Because too often I see, you know, families that fight over real estate, and it doesn't have to be that way. There's ways to, you know, work together to make sure everybody eats and everybody wins. But unfortunately, that's not the norm. And people just kind of get it all wrong. But I mean, you got to be ready. You got to be ready to build. You got to have the right people around you, motivating you. You have to find somebody that is maybe going in the direction that you would want to see your business go in, and just kind of learn from what they're doing or saying, and just do your research. Don't just hop into real estate because it's nice, flashy, you make good money and you get to work on your own schedule. It's not that simple.
Right. It is a lot of discipline that you got to have. You know, I'm going to touch on kind of, you touched on why you went into real estate, but same thing for me. I wanted to go into real estate when I bought my first house. One, I think it was the feeling. I think I always tell you this, Shonda, when me and you talking, I cannot say enough. It's the feeling that you get when you get the keys. And I feel like when I bought my first house, I think I was like 24. And nobody was buying houses at that time. You know what I mean? Like, to be clear, I mean, there might have been some people that were, but I knew what I wanted and I was going to try to make that happen. But when I got the keys, I realized, I'm like, if I can do it, like there's so many people out here that could get a home and don't believe that they can. And especially us in our culture, like we want to make sure that people believe in themselves enough to become homeowners. So I love being a part of the journey. And then when we actually there to get, I always say I'm not just there on closing day. I'm there. You know, I'm going to be there throughout the whole process. And so for me, you know, you have to, it helps me understand that we're moving ahead, you know. And I always tell my clients, I'm like, listen, I know it's a daunting process and I know it feels so far out of reach sometimes, or it's scary, but I'm telling you, once you get the keys, all of it will be worth it. I had to jump through some hoops too to get my house. I was scared too that I wasn't gonna get it, you know. Honestly, and you can't be afraid of that process. You know, they always say like that process is supposed to make you stronger and better. And so after you come out of it, you're like, dang, you know, I know some be like, I don't want to go through that again, but you're going to want to go through it again when it's time to elevate and move. So for me, it's been a part of that, the journey of helping people find their home. I love first-time home buyers. I will say it all the time, all day long. And I'm sorry, I love everybody that's buying their home, but first-time home buyers for me, it does something different because the appreciation that they have, and it's deeper because it's like we're moving the needle ahead. It's a celebration. It's another homeowner, you know. And so I think I had always desired it from that point, you know, that I wanted to do it. Just didn't know when I wanted to do it. I just knew one day I was like, you know what, I'm gonna take this test. I'm gonna go to the class. I'm gonna take the test. And really it was because of, you know, maybe, you know, my corporate job won't be there, you know, one day. And I knew, I was like, I need something to push me out to make me do it. You know, because you get comfortable You know what I mean? Getting that check every so often, and the scary thought of going through some hard times because you're not, and them hard times real, okay? That's another thing you need to think about. That's another story, okay? But
Oh my gosh.
yeah, that's another episode. But seriously, I became a real estate agent because I really wanted to bridge the gap. I wanted to help people become homeowners.
Yeah.
And I'm passionate about that. I really love that process, and I love talking to the clients, and I love being involved
Yeah.
into it. And I know we're talking about real estate, and I know we're talking about becoming a realtor. But I'm a loan officer. And so people are always inquiring about becoming a loan officer. And the same work goes in. If you're going to be an entrepreneur, there's work that's going to be done, no
Mm.
matter what. You're going to have to get out there and network. You're going to have to get out there and talk to people. You're going to have to get out there and work with people. You're going to have to get uncomfortable, so that way you can build your business. And that's even in it's in anything in entrepreneur. So I went to where did I go? I think I went to Champions also for my loan officer license. And then also a company that actually, kind of sponsored the test. I also did it again. I like took two different classes just to kind of make sure I had picked up on the information. But Champions does offer that course as well. So if that's something you're interested in, like, hey, don't hesitate to reach out to us, to me on the loan officer. I'm always open to share information when I can. So
Right. And I'm with you on that. Like in my journey of becoming a real estate agent, there were people that I was watching that I aspired to, and that I learned a lot from just in the journey of becoming a real estate agent. Like YouTube University is amazing. They have so much free content on there. People that you can relate to are on there sharing their journey. So I do highly recommend going on YouTube and just searching real estate agents in Texas, or how to become a loan officer in Texas, or whatever, and just learn what it takes so that you don't have to bump your head. You definitely don't have to reinvent the wheel. It's already there. You just, there's things put in place so that you don't have to maybe experience the not so good stuff that other people have. This stuck with me, but when I got my license, and when you're trying to figure out what broker to go with, and everybody's just kind of come with us. In my journey, I have a really good friend I went to school with. I reached out and I wanted to just pick their brain to see, okay, what about this, that? How do I this? And this person told me, the game is sold, not told. And I was like, whoa, really? It really took me back. And I'm just like, well, is it really that cutthroat? Like a lot of gatekeeping in my first few years of real estate I experienced from people. And I'm just like, what is the problem? Like, why is it such a hush hush, thing that you can't share, your tips and tricks with me so that I can grow my business? And that really stuck with me because I didn't expect that person to say that. But that really did give me a little more fuel to push harder to make sure that I'm successful in this. Not so I can be like, I did it without you, because I really didn't care if I did, help me or not. It would have been nice. But just that kind of helped me to understand, like, LaShonda, you got to get out here and get it.
it set the tone, the mindset. You understood at that point what you were up against.
Yep.
And as sad as it is, that we truly believe, some of us, that you know what, I had to do these things, so they need to do it too.
Exactly.
And that's the part that's why we're not going to get ahead. Okay. Even if we do get ahead, it's not going to be pleasing in God's eyes. Like for me, I always think about, like, I want to be pleasing to God. I don't, not to man, but to God. And kind of segmenting into our boundaries, setting those boundaries to know who you want to allow in your space, in your area.
Mhm.
And also keep in mind that it's okay to have a business relationship and maybe not be able to be cool
I
with
have
a
personal,
person.
that's
You know
right.
what I mean? Because that their values, their morals and things like that does not align with yours. And
Mhm.
so it's okay not to have to be able to be a part of that. But
Mhm.
it is sad that people feel that way. A lot of people feel that way. And
Mhm.
I don't understand it because I'm such a giving person and people can misuse me. And
Yeah.
so those are where my boundaries come up too. It's kind of like I have to know when people are actually just trying to use me, and they really don't care nothing about me because if I need them, they're nowhere to be found. You know what I
Right.
mean? And
Right.
it's not that you're looking for them to be there, but
Right.
it's kind of like, listen, I'm gonna give information, but don't think that you can just throw me to the side and then when you want to use me again, you
Mhm.
because there is a such thing as being misused.
Mhm. Mhm.
So yeah, I
That was
think
big. That was big. Having boundaries is a big thing for me that I also had to learn because I'm
mhm,
always saying yes to people. But the last couple of years, no. And the answer has been no. And that's one of my big words for 2023 is no. And being okay with saying no, because
mhm,
not only did I have to learn how to say no, I had to learn how to say no and learn how to be okay
right.
with whatever came after that no. You have people, even family members, out. Okay, I'm gonna remember that. Or, oh, really? That's how it is. Okay, like I'm not saying no from a bad place. I'm saying no from a place of I know because I don't have the budget for that, or no,
Right.
I don't have the time to devote to that. Not from a being spiteful or anything like that, but a lot of people don't understand that. So
Mhm.
having that boundary, it definitely has and can create that peace, the calm, giving you good energy, just being okay with not accepting anyone and anything and saying no. Like
Right.
it really would tear me up if I tell somebody no. I'm like, oh my God, like, but what if this and what if that? And I mean, it
Yeah.
was just like, LaShonda, that's not your responsibility.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, especially if it came to money, if I give it to you, what does Drake say? I can't give you what I'm gonna need right back. If I give it,
And them the true words right there. Do you hear me?
oh
Yes.
my God, I can't give it to you, and then when I need it, you don't have it to give to me. But I'm not the type of person where I'm gonna give and then expect something in return.
Right.
I don't do that.
Right.
I'm not like, oh, remember I did. I've never done that to
Mhm.
anybody.
Right.
However, on the flip side of that, if I've done something for you, not because I've done something for you, but if I truly come to you and I need some help or assistance or guidance, and you're not available to me, kind of like what you were saying earlier, like, and you're unavailable, or you don't want to extend that same grace to me, then that helps me to understand, okay, I can't be on that level with that person. So I know
Right.
now that boundary needs to be
Yeah.
set. So it's that boundary is really important. It'll get a lot of people in trouble.
It is. It's very important. And like for me, I think, yeah, I'm like you when it came down. If I said no, or if I didn't, help, then it's like I
Yeah.
feel I have so much heaviness on me.
Yeah.
And
Mm.
then, but at some point, and thankfully for my husband, because I think he helps balance that part of me,
Yeah.
by I guess reaffirming, you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Like,
Like, listen, you like like you the best person out here, okay? You gonna have the first ticket to heaven, okay? That's what we always say because I just want to help everybody, and
yeah.
sometimes I'm helping people at a cost to me. I'm helping people, and it's going to cost my family. You know what I mean too. And
Yeah.
so it's not just always about me. It's not always. Some things I have to think about the betterment of my family. What is this going to look like? And even for your business, working with everybody is not okay.
Mhm.
Even I mean, even as clients, right?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you've had to turn down clients like
Yeah.
this ain't gonna work out,
Yeah. This is
and
not gonna work out because
it's
the
not
steps
gonna
you're
work out,
taking,
and
I'm
that's
not okay with it.
I'm not okay with it. If you're doing some things that might not be right, I can't. We're gonna have to.
Yeah.
That's not what I'm about. And so, and same difference. In anything that you do, boundaries are super important, like
Mhm.
super important, and you learn it as you go, right? Once you get, I guess burned a few times, your feelings been hurt a few times, and then you feeling like, wow, so then you have to learn from that. And I think that's part of the process of getting you to your next level, because you
Yeah.
kind of got to go through these little things that kind of makes you stronger.
Yeah.
It builds something in you,
Yeah.
and so, yeah.
I take it as a lesson. I take it as
Mhm,
a lesson.
mhm.
I don't take it as, a loss. It's just
Mm-mm.
I learned from this not to do this. Like,
Right.
it's okay to make a mistake. It's
Come on.
okay to get it wrong,
Mhm.
and then fix it and do it right. But
Right.
if you're getting it wrong over and over and over again, like, you can't do that. You can't grow if you know better, but you don't do better.
Come on. Girl, speak some
Am
more.
I preaching somebody? But no, seriously, like,
Seriously.
it's okay to make a mistake. You didn't know. Or like for me, I'm the type of person where somebody can tell me, don't do that because, or don't trust this, or don't trust that, or them, or her, or him. I like to let people show me who you are so
Mhm.
that, I can believe it, because I don't just go by what people say about somebody.
Right.
I need you to show me, because y'all just may not have
Right.
collaborated. Y'all may not have been a good mix,
Right.
whatever. But me and that person we might gel just
Just
perfectly.
perfectly.
No
Exactly.
problems at all. So it's all on the interaction, the vibe, the energy that you give off. That determines, the height or the dynamic of your relationship. So I like people to prove me wrong. Like, I
Mhm.
give people chances, and then if you prove me right or wrong or whatever, then I'm just like, okay, well, now I know for myself. At least I didn't go off of what somebody else told me.
Somebody else said, and that's so true. Going to it's okay to make mistakes. Like, if I can say anything in this process, and I know we don't like to make mistakes as human beings.
Hmm.
Like, when I tell you mistakes are kind of one of them ones that it's kind of like, because you just think about it. When you did something wrong or you made a mistake, you might have got yelled at, for it,
Yeah.
and so now it kind of goes into your, later on when you make a mistake, or if you're at a company, they reprimand you or something. So you feel like you're doing something wrong, but if you don't make some mistakes, how you gonna, like you said, how you gonna be able to learn and grow?
Right.
Because clearly, if you made a mistake, there was something you didn't know.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Now you know.
Yep.
You know
You
what I
don't
mean?
know what you don't know, is what I
You know
say.
what you don't know sometimes, and
But
it's
the word does say, study to show thyself approved. Look, I'm trying to preach to somebody.
girl. But we don't know everything, right? And
No, we
so,
don't.
give yourself grace, and you know what? Just take it as a learning lesson, hold yourself accountable,
Yeah.
and, know that, like you said, correct that mistake or try to go forward, not make that mistake again, or identify where the error was so that way what not to do in the future. But in this business, you don't know everything, So the best
Mhm.
thing you can do is educate yourself. The best thing you can do is take classes, network, talk to people is so important. But those it's important to know that don't shy away from your mistakes, you know?
Yeah.
Don't shy away from it. That's where you get the most growth out of it. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like, making some mistakes. You
Yeah.
you got to, just like the kids, they gotta make some mistakes. I'm not gonna yell at them for
Mhm.
making mistakes all the time. When you get older, you do better, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
things that we were taught when we were younger, we understand now, okay, well, I know they did the best that they could,
Right.
but, I know now that that's not even that serious,
Right.
and that creates some sort of, I ain't gonna say use the word trauma, but it creates some other things, right? On
Right.
top of that. And the reason that we are who we are today is from the teachings and the things that we saw, So
Yeah.
kind of, making sure we know that it's okay to make mistakes.
Yeah.
As long as, a mistake is a mistake, right?
Mhm.
But, doing something criminally wrong, don't do that. Like, we're not
Right.
saying that's okay because you know better.
Right. Right. You don't. It's not a mistake if you repeat it. If you're
Right.
continuously repeating, it's a choice.
It's a
So just
choice.
make better choices and learn from your mistakes and keep it pushing.
That's right. And pray over those mistakes and pray over who it could have harmed, or pray over whatever the case is.
Yeah.
But always make sure that, if you make a mistake, it's okay. Like, it is okay. And, it might be hard at the moment, cry it out, because honey, I will cry it out, okay? We're not perfect. We aim and
Right.
we strive, you know, to be perfect in areas of our lives, right? But
Mhm.
we're work in progress at all times. So take that. I hope that if you can take anything away, just take these things away from. We talked about a lot today. We unpacked quite a bit. I feel like this was really good.
You're right. You're right. You're
But
right.
listen, subscribe, comment. We want to see some interaction.
Yeah.
If you want to share it with people, please share it with people. We love doing this. You
Yeah.
know, this is a choice. This is something that we wanted to
Definitely
do,
a choice.
and we
We
think
don't
it's
get paid for this.
no. So yes, so
Let's go. That's it. I mean, that's all we got for you. Hopefully you guys can take something away from this, whether you're building your real estate career or just building your entrepreneurial business, whatever that may be. Remember to give yourself some grace. It's okay to bump your head and make mistakes every once in a while, but just make sure you're surrounding yourself with the people that are there to build you and to support you. And just don't get caught up in the hype, the glitz, the glamour, the, you know, just the media. Like, do your own research, and yeah, just keep it pushing. Make sure that you're always working to empower each other
embrace your true self.
and involve in your journey.
All right. Peace, y'all. Have a great day. Bye.